Bandidos, what up? It's your boy Tux here, and we're back with the Division 2, reviewing Season 2 new gear. And Season 2 is just a few short weeks away. And today, we're checking out the new exotic pistol called the Tempest, which is fully automatic. You gotta see this thing in action. Let's do this.
Wait, did we just become best friends? So nice to meet you. I think you're cool.
Piece of shit wristwatch.
First, I gotta say, please excuse my character's nudity. I am in the PTS server and things just kind of loaded up weird, but we're only here to test things out. All right, so this is the Tempest. It is the new exotic built on the 93R. The base version in the game is a burst damage pistol. This one is actually fully automatic. And the base damage is pretty darn good, but look at the RPM, 735 with a 30 round mag. That's going to contribute to its performance and why it's going to stand out in gameplay. The optimal range is 12 and the pistols are all over the place. For example, the TDI card has an optimal range of 9 and the Harvest has an optimal range of 16. So this is right there in the middle, but on the higher end. Now the one that I have has pistol damage and rate of fire, and I actually like rate of fire on this, but you could also go damage to targets out of cover. The reload time is 2.16. That's kind of slow for a pistol, I gotta say. Now the TDI card without any assistance from weapon handling has a 1.45 second reload, and the Harvest has a 1.84 second reload. So the Tempest is sort of yikes, and you notice that reload. The trade-off is you got a big mag. So the talent's called Restrained. So you're going to deal 25% amplified damage for 20 seconds after your shield gets broken. Now, I kind of think the talent is a little bit of a bummer because, I mean, who wants to play into their shield being broken? When your shield breaks, you're dizzy. So how many shots are you going to land? But 20 seconds is a long time. And when you're dizzy, it's what, 3 to 5 seconds? So you're still going to be able to use that. But definitely something you're not going to be able to rely on full time. It's there, I guess. Now, I thought this pistol without a talent was going to be crap. Now, when we were watching Yannick demo this in the live stream that they had the other day, you know, it looked pretty powerful. He was playing on challenging, but I got a grasp on the time to kill and challenging, and I felt like, wow, his time to kill is quite good because they're not exactly super squishy. They're still in the millions, and he was killing them pretty easily. I whipped up a pretty good build for Heroic and took this thing out there, and I got to tell you, I was absolutely surprised. This thing is super bursty. And I thought I was not gonna like this pistol at all, but it might be my new favorite pistol. Now I like my one-shot kill pistols like the Harvest. However, the Harvest doesn't go really well with like a DPS build. If I'm running something like Negotiator's Dilemma or Strikers, then the Harvest is, you know, just doesn't synergize because I have that for one-shot killing with Determined. And then you have the TDI card, which gives you a skill tier, but on a DPS build, I'm not really playing into that either. And my TDI card usually has In Sync on it. So again, doesn't synergize. But this thing goes really well with DPS builds I found. So the build I'm showcasing now is built for this pistol to be the primary. I also ran another build, and I'll show some gameplay later, where it was a Negotiator's build, but I was using the LUD, so no skills. But there's so many times you get flanked and you have to pop your shield. So instead of using a normal shield like the Striker shield, I equipped the Bulwark shield and had this pistol as my backup weapon. So when I got flanked, I popped out of cover with my Bulwark and just burnt them with this thing. Anyways, this pistol is quite amazing. So I tested a few variations, but because I was going to be standing behind the Bulwark shield, I decided to go ahead and run all red cores. And at first I started with bonus armor, so you might see some gameplay with a little bit of bonus armor kicking in from Adrenaline Rush, but eventually I took that off because I felt like I wasn't taking much damage and went ahead and put on Vigilance. Yeah, the uptime is pretty good on Vigilance. I do drop the shield a lot so that I can run from A to B, and that means I took a little bit of extra damage. But to my surprise, I could take down named bosses in a single mag with this pistol and to build strong. But one of the things I was testing was, can it build and maintain Obliterate? And the answer is yes. It does a really good job with Obliterate. So that opens up just about any talent with this weapon. It might even do a good job holding up striker stacks. Okay, let me quickly run you through the build. So you know I don't have any modifiers, and I was kind of stuck with my specialization. I didn't have the extended specializations unlocked, so I just went ahead and kept my sharpshooter. You'd probably want to run gunner with this so that you get a little bit of armor on kill. Okay, so let's start with the mask. I ran the punch drunk, really good idea for that 20% pistol damage, and it's also giving you another 20% headshot damage. That's a perfect stat. Now, my gear is all going to kind of look like this because this is just a testing account, so I don't have god rolls or anything like that. I ran crits everywhere, and I went ahead and put headshot damage here. At the time, I didn't have a crit mod, so I just ran with headshot damage. But the idea is to max out our crits. This is going to be a crit build because of the nice mods that come on the pistol. We're leaning into that. So the chest is my first piece of eminent armaments, and we're going to be running 3 pieces for that 60% pistol damage and a 5% weapon damage, so we're at 65 total. And I have crits, as you can see, protection from elites on this, I did like that, and obliterate. The holsters is my second piece, and we got crits and weapon damage. The knees is my final piece with crits and weapon damage. The backpack, I decided to go with Cheska. Originally I had the Matador, which had perfect adrenaline rush for bonus armor, but then I switched to this for more damage. And we're running vigilance, which sometimes goes down, but it doesn't bother me at all. We are behind that shield plenty, so it does stay up. The overdogs are the new exotic gloves. It has crits on it, and it comes with a talent called Weakest Link. It's going to be giving us amplified damage to select targets. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the gloves right now. I'll save that for another video. So I want you to know that my bulwark shield is actually pretty weak because I don't have any mods on it, but it did a really good job for the most part. There were some times it definitely broke. I mean, you're probably better off running a little bit of armor to make that shield a little bit stronger. Probably no more than 2 blue cores. I think that would be plenty. Because your time to kill is really good, you don't need your shield to be too tanky. You just need to play smart. If you're taking damage from distance, then maybe do some cover to cover movements. I tried face tanking a few of the heavy gunners, and they did a good job at breaking my shield and getting you to miss because of body flinch a little bit. So that's the situation in which I think you're probably better off with 1 or 2 blue cores, just to pump that up a little bit to buy you just a little bit more time. But there's so many different scenarios to account for. Like, for example, if you got 3 enemies shooting at you at the same time, one of those is a turret and one of those is a heavy gunner, it's probably going to break the shield on an all red build. That aside, I was relatively satisfied. So as far as stats go, we were at 57% crit chance and 110% crit damage. So I ran this pistol for a while. Yeah, you know, it's a shield build, so you're vulnerable from the back, but it was actually really fun. The pistol is really engaging because it does have a really good time to kill, and I was testing its distance too, and it reaches out pretty far, and it's relatively accurate at those longer ranges. I don't suggest you snipe with this thing, but you know, from time to time you have to reach out and tag somebody, and this pistol will allow you to do that. And it's not just a body shot weapon, it actually does a pretty good job at tagging the head. Aim for the upper torso and work your way to those headshots, and you're going to do really well. This weapon is an absolute blast. I think it is going to be one to look forward to. Unfortunately, it sounds like, I think they said during the live stream that this is going to be the one that will be in the climax mission. If that's the case, that's boo, because this is a really good exotic. I haven't been really into the busy little bee, and definitely not into the mosquito. I love the Regulus, and the Liberty does what it does, but this one can actually be your main, or at least your main sidearm when a backup calls. The only thing that's noticeable is the reload is a little bit long, and if they could tighten that up a little bit, the weapon would be perfect. I'll leave you with a little bit of gameplay. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm Tuxedo Bandido, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on the good stuff I have coming for you. And if you like content like this, be sure to check out the video I have recommended for you right here. If you have anything you would like me to cover, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make things possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be the same without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandido to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Wait, did we just become best friends?